are you? In this video, I'll be doing something that I've been meaning to do for a while now. Which is also something new because I always start these videos saying that will be doing something new and I am doing that again. So, there is a thing that I've been meaning to do for a while now, which I mentioned in the last video as well, which is show you all my old sketchbooks. But to do that, first of all, I have to figure out exactly how I'm going to do that because I talk about a lot of stuff in there. One of them being 1. My age, which I don't share. 2. People around me, which I also don't share, which I could easily censor, but they would know that I'm talking about them. Not that I care as well. 3. I talk about some heavy topics in there, and then we'd have a whole discussion on that, which would be good because sometimes you just gotta talk about heavy things to tell people, right, that it's okay, they're not alone. Okay, so I don't know what I will be doing with that, and to get there, there's another thing other than these free stuffs? Things? What? I don't know. Okay, so the thing is, before I actually started drawing like these consistent sketchbooks, I used to draw in like loose papers, I used to draw in these folders, I guess, because I used to carry these folders around that had just a bunch of printer paper in them or whatnot, and then I draw. So to get to the sketchbooks, we have to go through these folders first. There are 3 folders, the first one starting from 2016 to 2018, which shows the beginning of my drawings in an anime style of me drawing people. The second one being, I think, just 2019, which is impressive that I drew so much to have a whole folder just for 1 year. And the third one being from 2020 all the way to nowadays, because when I draw stuff on loose paper, I put those drawings in there. So I guess today we'll be seeing the folder from 2016 to 2018, which is the folder which shows how I started to draw, and we'll get through that, I guess. The audio through the video might not be as good as... Honestly, I don't know if this audio is any good as well, but I think it's better. So the audio will be different, I guess, because I just use like my phone audio for that and just go with the faith of the Lord that it will be fine. But halfway through the thing, I realized like, oh wait, I'm like messing around with paper. This must make a horrible sound in the recording. So, I don't know, I'll let you get to it now. I will stop interrupting you. We don't just have this folder to go through, we also have that red one right there. And this one is the last one. Also, hi Kitty. This is going to be difficult, huh? I don't even know how I'm going to record this. I hope that this works. Also, hi, my hands, right? I used to separate all my drawings by emotions or something along those lines. I don't know exactly how I would explain it. Also, I'm sorry if the audio in this video sounds weird. I just wanted it to be very personal and raw, so I'm just going to do this straight on like this. So I started drawing people, that is like in an anime style, in 2016 at the end of the year. I joined a group chat that had like these people that were drawing, well, one of them was drawing like anime art, and that was the first time that I had any experience with that sort of thing. It was my first time seeing that, so he shared a drawing he made in the chat of a girl, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever, so I wanted to be like that. So I copied his drawing, but mine is very butchered. So this is the drawing. 2016. I didn't know how to draw back then. Before that, I was a furry. And this is the drawing that the guy made. I don't know why I named it. It's like, okay, this is my character now. Her name is Gabrielle with 1 L. And I didn't want to draw feet, so I covered it What a great thing. I usually put like a day on these things nowadays. At some point onwards, I started doing that. Please focus. This is really funny. Also, coconut chests. Okay, okay. We will see more of these. I just wanted to share this. This is a copy drawing. If the person that drew this is seeing this, hi, you inspired me to draw, so we got that. Let's start off with the category. Clothes, weird clothes, provocative makeup, and artists. What a category. So we start off in 2016 still. I'm so sorry if you hear noises. Here we have the first ever drawing of my own. That I made with my thoughts. Anime Eloisa. 22 of November of 2016. This chair is so annoying. We have my first ever drawing. I did redraw this later on. Okay, I did redraw this in 2020, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And at some point over that, I don't know if it's 2021 or 22, but I do redraw this one. Then after this, we have this girl. I know that I chopped these papers and I wanted to keep them because I didn't want to throw them away. So we have Isabelle. Manga. This isn't anime. This one is manga. What is this? Oh no. My bad attempt at Japanese. Oh no, the otaku in me started. This 2017, 8th of March. I know that this girl was from a game I was playing with a friend of mine. That's actually her name in the game. I remember that also. Look at those tiny itsy bitsy hands. Damn. Also, what the fuck is that in her hair? That black spaghetti? I don't know. Oh. This is my cousin's character. And I drew her really short. She is minuscule. My god. She will reappear later on. I draw her a lot. Guys. The first ever attempt at my story, Zelium's Life. Nowadays, it's called Zelium Paradise Corrupted, if I'm not mistaken. And damn, look at these covers. I remember that I wanted these silhouettes to be black, but I didn't want to fill them in, so I just left them like that. This drawing of what later on turns to be Surimu, but at this point, this was Selena, which I called her back then Serena. And I'm pretty sure that this pose I copied from somewhere, but look, if I start trying to find each and every artist, because back then I didn't even know what artists were, I just kind of thought that these were anime screenshots from an actual anime, and I just liked that, and I didn't even know what was going through my head exactly, but sure. I wouldn't be able to find it anyways with how AI is taking over everything. Then we have this drawing of Surimo again, this time a full illustration. I didn't even know how to draw trees and leaves. Even nowadays I don't really know. There's something happening to her. At that point I was really into horror, so... Then we have Serena version 15, because man did I love changing this girl's design. At this point she had the hairstyle. Nowadays Love 10 has this hairstyle, and my god, I used so many pencils here that the light is reflecting right off it, so I have to hold it kind of like this. I used to use colored pencils a lot back then, and my god, I learned how to use colored pencils with this. Magical girl. I'm pretty sure that this is also Selena, but another version. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't know what's going on. Also, this hand is screaming for help. Ooh, now we're getting into this. I made this for school. You know what the worst part is? This is from a manhwa, and we don't talk about this manhwa because it's called Perverts Club, and you don't want to read it, okay? Now we get into sad, depressive, emotional illustrations, and we have two. We have this one. My god, so emotional. Look at that. I am sad. I'm crying. Looking in the mirror. Because we cannot, right? We cannot. Then we have this, which is also copied from some illustration that I will never ever find again. But the concept is, and that was me at school, drowning because, my god, what a sad life. Now we get into elegant, student, and no emotion. No emotions. Serious. Okay, back to 2017. We get the first ever drawing of Geometra Dang, which is the girl I draw every year. I'm your enemy. Damn, I would never ever dare get in her way. Then we have the second drawing of Geometra Dang. This one I know is copied from some fan art of Ayano Aishi from the one game that we do not endorse in this channel, right? Yandere Simulator. And I just copied the pose and probably somewhat of the clothes as well, because I'm a bitch and I didn't know better. But now we learned, and nowadays we do, oh my god. Nowadays I'm sorry, I just saw the preview of the next drawing. We do our own drawings, okay? Good. Next drawing. Yes! The man. The legend, Baldy, what a man. Ooh. Here, I love you. Love of my life, we all love him. Here we have Surimu, with no face because I guess I was tired. I know the story behind this drawing. I was at school drawing and we didn't have class and people just kept coming in our classroom as if we were like circus animals. So I just started screaming at them like, we're not fucking circus animals, stop coming into this classroom. And then they left, of course. Imagine a tall-ass girl screaming at you, mad as fuck. And I could draw you having stuff, okay? I could draw stuff that you do not want to see of yourself. So don't anger me, I guess. Don't anger an artist, so. Next drawing is this drawing of the 13th Angel. And this one is 22 of October of 2017. I know that there are writings in this background of something that I wrote on another paper and it went through with how hard I pressed. But I have no idea what's written there. I cannot read it. Then we have this drawing. I'm innocent. Dude, look at the concept of this drawing. Man, never would an artist ever do stuff as good as this. And then we have another drawing of Surimu, which at this point was Selena, named Serena. And I remember this drawing. I remember the story behind this drawing. Should I tell you the story? Should I? I mean, I could. I might as well, right? A teacher was being stuff with me while I was drawing this drawing right here. And I got mad at him and told him to fuck off. And then he continued anyways, and no one ever did anything about it. So I remember this is supposed to be black, but at this point I was still too lazy to color that stuff in. So now we get into angry, irritated, psychological, and be careful, I bite. Here we have the marionette from Five Nights at Freddy's. This drawing still scares me. At this point I learned how to use markers finally, so I used pencil and a black marker to color it in, so that I didn't have to suffer coloring stuff in with pencils. Then we have Jeff the Killer, because oh my god, guys, we're slowly getting into this era and I'm going to suffer. Then we have Eyeless Jack, because we're getting into that era. Guys, we're going to suffer him. Look at him. At this point I still use pencil to color it in. Damn, that's a lot of determination. The next one I won't even show. Then we have this one, Zillium's Life Still, and this one is Selena. And these, I remember that I shaved my legs, and you can guess what happened next. Imagine a person with over 1 meter of legs shaving and getting tired in the process and just trying to do things quick. This drawing, at this point I used a sketchbook, but I didn't like using sketchbooks, so I ripped it out. Don't even question it. The concept, you can try and understand it your own way. Then we have this one of Surimu. I know this pose is copied from the DLC. There is a scene of Yuri, I think. I don't know if it's a scene of the DLC now or if it was a fan art, but I'm pretty sure it was an actual scene of the game. And I drew Surimu, who at this point was Selena. I don't know how to explain this. I don't know. I just kind of got tired of Selena at some point because stuff had happened, and then I decided to change her up. But I didn't want to leave her behind, and then I changed her into that, and then I changed her back because I liked the version of her before, but I liked this character as well, so I kept it. Then we have Clockwork. Oof. I did redraw this in 2022 with watercolors, and we will get into that whenever we get into the third portfolio thingy. So here we have Clockwork, and behind here we have a story, okay, with this drawing right here. This drawing, I told my cousin, I don't know if I told my cousin to make one or if my cousin did make a drawing themselves, which is this one right here. This is my cousin's drawing. And the story is that this is a guardian angel, but the moment I went back home, I had forgotten. I was trying to interpret this drawing again, and I just thought that it was a horror character. And then when I finished this, I remember that it was supposed to be an angel, and then I had to laugh really hard, and I was scared for my life as well, because at that point in my life, a lot of horrible stuff was happening, so let's just ignore that, and here we have Selena actually being Selena and me, and we were standing, and I know that this concept was copied again from somewhere, and I don't know where, and I'm very sad that I will never find those drawings again. This one is me burning something down, probably my school, because I was edgy like that, and I know that this whole thing was copied from another artwork, fan art for Yandere Simulator, and we don't endorse that here, so let's just not. So that's done. Now let's get into backgrounds, scenarios, and landscapes. Unfinished artwork of me trying to learn how to draw water. And that's the moon, and I gave up in halfway. So here I was trying to draw perspective. This is a street lamp. Man, look at this pale street lamp. That's great. I know that this is supposed to be the place, the street on the side of the city where Selena and the rest live, which I don't remember the name of. I just know that it starts with an X. And like this is supposed to be the lake dividing the two parts of the city. One side is the big side of the city, like with lots of, well, not lots of, but the side that has like big buildings, and this side is the side that has like just normal houses. Then we have perspective number 2, a corridor. Well, it kind of looks like an SCP corridor, now that I think about it. Here I was asking my cousin to teach me how they did watercolor, and I think it's very cute. Oh my god, guys. No! Here we have background. I had to fold it over because this talked about my personal information and whatnot, because this was for school. Ignore my bad, horrible Japanese. I didn't even use kanji or hiragana or anything. What the fuck? I just used Google Translate. What is this? I know it was supposed to be like blood or something. What? No. Now we go into one of the big folders, which is tests, attempts, and I need to finish these drawings. First off, we have a drawing of my cousin's character. Again, which I never finished. Then we have Serena version 2, which I don't remember what they look like. So, we will never know, because I forgot. Then we have this drawing. I remember that I made it to make a digital drawing for something. I think I was writing a book, and I never finished. This drawing of a girl with a moon and a, I don't know, man. Beautiful, beautiful artworks. Random mask, because why not, right? A character? What do I say about that? And we have, ooh, Surimo. This says olho, eye, because Portuguese, I guess. I don't even speak in a country that speaks Portuguese, okay? Keep that in mind. And then we have, and Surimo. A character that I was making. I remember that this one was based, I had bought the Faber-Castell 60 colored pencil set, and they wanted to use all the colored pencils in one drawing alone. This is where this character came out of, so that's great. Guys, now we are getting into the good stuff, the substance. What you see right here was my attempt at making a... I will translate this for you. This one is like, love. So, are you Rock's girlfriend? We don't talk about Rock, okay? This is a horrible experience. And these were supposed to be silhouettes with the eyes, and then Selena says no and walks away, and someone is like, wait! And then this was supposed to be Rock, but my god, he does not look okay. Are you going already? And then Selena's silhouette saying, yeah, I'm not feeling well. Man, never have you read anything better than that. Then we have another page, which was supposed to be the first page. We have those Japanese lockers where they put their shoes in. Someone's feet, Rock talking with someone, Selena. My name is Selena Ruby. That's right, at this point she was the Ruby one and not she. I'm a student here at Sakura High and a normal girl in the world of Zelium. Man, if I read that somewhere, I wouldn't stop reading the story immediately. How much substance do you need to continue reading a story? Oh no, oh no, oh no. Here we have a character, two characters that I had back then. Ooh, we don't get into their story. This is probably the most horrible story I have ever written, and it's so bad that I even deleted these characters out of my whole memory. Guys, guess what? We have old Jellish and Selena. Jellish was hairless. Hairless and short? Damn. I remember that I didn't finish this because I was going to like make the water thing on top, right? But it was supposed to be like this, like they're drowning. But I forgot to turn the page. So that's why I never finished, because I drew that on the wrong side ahead. Because why not? Random ass headphones that I was making, designing or something, and we don't talk about it. Ooh, horror drawing. Wow, it's so horrific, so poorly drawn that I'm actually terrified of it. Wadan O'Hara! Ooh, I know that there is a finished drawing of this. I did this one because I wanted to use watercolors, but it wasn't turning out. Honestly, she looks kind of like she needs help. Oh, and then I stopped. Was designing a phone case. This was from a game that I was playing. You know, those schoolgirl type of games where you kill people or beat the shit out of people, like Sakura School Simulator or something. This was one of those games, and I was really obsessed with it, so that's great. And here we have probably what was supposed to be Selena doing something. I don't even know what the story was at this point in my life. Ooh, I'm losing stuff. Selena, secretary version, trying to do watercolor, but I didn't know how to use watercolor, so it wasn't turning out how I wanted it to, so I gave up halfway. Sketch of Selena and what I think is my cousin's character, but I'm unsure. It could also be Tigra. I would never know. And then we have Selena's first design. I remember that I wanted her to be like a normal schoolgirl with a rose crown and long flowy hair. And yeah, I never finished it. I remember that this was my attempt in years trying to draw her again with her first ever design, and I gave up halfway. Slender Woman and Selena? Are you sure? This sketch right here, I put into my phone and drew digitally, and it was my first ever digital illustration ever. And the only thing that I have left of that digital illustration is the screenshot of it being my profile picture, and here you have it, I guess, somewhere on the screen. So now we are getting into the final one. Final. Cute, innocent, gentle, timid, friendly, and animals. I did sort of Pokemon cards with lots of glitter. Skylight blue, that's great. And this is Helena. Ruby. At this point I think that she was the sister of Zachary. It's a complicated story of this is 2016. 2017. Tinies, don't they? We went back to these, okay? And this one isn't the only one. You will get a lot more. For example, Jasmine Flores, which she has sunburn on her face and needs help, probably sunscreen. Then we have Jeff the Killer again, because this is probably a drawing copied from someone's fan art. Here we have Wolf Girl with a shadow that represents something horrible. I think that at this point I was watching Elfen Lied, something along those lines. Elfen Lied and Spice and Wolf, I think is the name of that anime. Here we have a drawing for spring, but I don't know how to draw leaves, neither flowers or anything really. So she is not okay. This is also 2017. We're still in 2017. Now we are in 2018. 27th of January of 2018. And I didn't know how hair worked, so that's cool. This little drawing right here on this cardboard, which is very cute, very nice. This one I know is copied from somewhere because I liked this person's art style, which was very old school anime. But I decided to draw my cousin's character instead in that art style. Best friends forever, me and an old friend of mine. Nowadays, we aren't close anymore, so that only brings back bittersweet memories. This, a drawing of my ex. That's great. Alpacia, NOC that I was making based off alpacas. Age, 18. Race, alpaca. Height 168, which would be around 5'6" or so. Eye color brown. Skin color pink. Pinkish. Nickname human alpaca. Usually uses a brown scarf around their neck. Eyes wool. Nature cute, gentle, and agitated. Here is a sketch of them. I know that I finished drawing the sketch and they have their scarf, so that's great. Here we have that Pusheen, human Pusheen. That's cool. Wait, so that one sketch of Selena was Selena with Pusheen? Well, that's sweet. I will not translate this. If you want to translate it, you can use Google Translate. Selena, version 1, where she used the school uniform inspired by the uniform I was using back in the day, and the rose crown. The finished drawing of Alpacia. And damn, I really focused on the shading here, huh? Here we have a drawing of, I don't know. I think that this was part of Selena's story, and this is from an alpaca game. It's really cute, very sweet. I used to play it back then. Very cute little game. Nowadays, I don't play it anymore because I don't have time for it. Selena as a Cupid. All I can think about now is Marina's song, Cupid's Girl. Another one. We don't endorse this game. We don't endorse this game, okay? The same character again. This says the tail. Oh no. Right. Look at him. Alice Jack. No comment. O'Hara, but this time I actually did it with colored pencils because it's what I know how to use, or at least I knew how to use it back then. Nowadays I still know how to use it with how much I drew, right? And this one turned out fine. Him again. Yes, this is a guy, by the way. Him again. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. This was made with tape. Oh no. My cousin with Twilight Sparkle, Evie, and their OC. Slender Woman? Made with tape? Sure. And the last drawing made on the 31st of December of 2018, which is Selena with a Pusheen shirt and that. This was made on the 31st of December, and I remember it vividly, so that is what we got in that folder. So, there you have it. This has been my art journey from 2016 all the way to 2018, even though I didn't actually tell you all which drawing was from which year, but I think that you can guess. Come on, you're smart enough for that. So, that was a lot. Holy shit. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this for some reason. I don't know why you would, but I guess this shows you stuff. I don't know. I hope you have a nice day and night, as always, right? And I hope to see you next time again. So, bye!